From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big Sunday afternoon on LALATE with incredible details about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 today. We'll be going over that monthly stimulus check the Democrats still want you to have. We'll be going over how much is at issue, when it's going to happen, and what will the voting process be. We'll also be covering fifth stimulus, which heats up this fall with another stimulus check and raising your benefits a lifetime. And we'll be turning to the big money that people keep on getting. $12,000, $10,000. Your opportunity is abound right in this recording as well. And then we'll be going over the breaking news about fourth stimulus coming out of the White House in the last 24 hours. Breaking news you're going to hear for the first time in this afternoon's broadcast. There's a lot happening. It's all wonderful. And I'm going to make it very easy breezy for you to understand it. It's a big Sunday afternoon. You're crushing the weekend. We're going to crush the news, and we're starting right now on Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Sunday afternoon. I hope you're having a beautiful weekend. How's the weather where you are? It got warmer today. Oh, Lord, it got a little bit warmer. Can you just settle down, weather gods? Just settle down. It got a little bit warmer. Still sunny. And less of a breeze. Yeah, you want the breeze so it chills you off. But how's the weather where you are? Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather this Sunday afternoon. We'll be going over a lot of breaking details in this fourth stimulus check update of 2021. First part, we'll be going over the monthly stimulus check. Second part, we will be going over the deal that was reached by the president on Thursday, then explained on Friday, then explained differently on Saturday. Every day, he's re-explaining himself, so I have to re-explain his re-explaining. And then the third part of this video, we'll be going over his next re-explaining about the voting process, which is all really what he's re-explaining. The voting process, is it tandem, is it not tandem? Is one going first, is the other one going first? Who cares? Just send the money out, for goodness sake. Then the other part of this video, we'll be going over a fifth stimulus, which heats up this fall with another stimulus check, hopefully without tandemness, because I've had enough of the word tandem already, and it's only 2 days into it. And then we go over the big money across the board the viewers keep on getting. And this is LALATE, America's only 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoons, right after this broadcast, is the massive Evening to LA show, and it's going to have a lot of breaking news in that recording you're going to hear for the first time on this channel tonight. That's at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Then after that, immediately, you can go right into Overnight's Crypto, our hit show that has 15 hours of coverage on the cryptocurrency changes to make you money. So subscribe, 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this channel. Hit that subscribe button right now. Also, like this video. Consider liking this video because every like delivers you gift certificates to the casino. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Let's get right into the breaking details in this fourth stimulus update of 2021, starting right now. There is a Democratic House and a Democratic Senate approach to how to do monthly stimulus checks, and they differ based upon the number of checks and also the amount of the checks. House bill from Jalapal and Talib is pandemic plus 1 year, a lot more checks than the senators, which is July to December. The monthly checks amounts differ as well. House wants you to have $1,000 a month after the first month of 2,000. Senators, the amount is unknown, but word on the street, the senators want to pay you a lot more than the House. $2,000 over 6 months, $12,000. OMG, thou, that is deliciousness. $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. That is savory. If you're in the live chat just after 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, get ready to vote House or Senate. But there's something else we need to go back over, and it's this. Pandemic plus 1 year. Well, the legislators may contend the pandemic is over. We don't contend it's over, but they may contend it's over. That may reduce your number of checks for the House bill to just 1 year, which would be $13,000 over 12 checks. So let's compare that to the Senate. Over 6 months, get ready. Here we go. There you are. I think you have an opinion. Senate or House, vote right now. Jump in the live chat. Senate or House, which one do you like? And tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather this Sunday afternoon. Boy, so who gets that fourth stimulus check? Democrats want everyone who got a third stimulus check to get a fourth stimulus check. Single individuals, yes, 75,000 or less. Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. Married couple, 150,000 or less. Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. Double it. A family of four, Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits. The amount of the stimulus check would be the same amount for everyone. The stimulus check, however, would not be income, so it's not taxable. The fourth stimulus check would come monthly. It would not come in waves. So if you see the stimulus check at the water cooler on Monday and say, hey, how's your weekend, Jack? How's your weekend? Was that you at the surf job? Was that you on the dance floor? How's your weekend? And the check doesn't respond saying, I hope you choke on that water, tap water, boring, flat water. Don't be rude to the check. He's just showing up to work and he's at the water cooler. So, the water could spill on him, but that'll be a soggy check. But there you go. Soggy check is better than no check. The fourth stimulus check would cover the month of July for the month of July. And in the month of August, for the month of August, those Democrats represent. They also represent that the fourth stimulus check would go to a final vote by July 4th. And there you go. That is the wonderful first part of your 3 parts of your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. But part 2 and part 3 will have the breaking news. Part 2 goes over the 2-path process. Deal, no deal. Modified deal, explaining the deal. Every single hour that has passed since Thursday, the president's having to re-explain himself. And I'm having to re-explain his re-explaining. So I will be back in that second part with the breaking news about the president re-explaining himself still as of Sunday. Then in the third part, I'll be re-explaining his re-explaining of the voting process. It's not so much him re-explaining the substance, it's when the voting occurs. Okay. I'll have all those breaking news, and it's all wonderful. And you're going to see a surprise ally that you would never have thought would be your ally in that breaking third part. You're going to be a big surprise. The villainess of 2020 is your hero for 2021. Oh boy, it's getting exciting. It's like a new Star Trek adventure. But first, let's get a preview of the second half of this video. It's fifth stimulus and heats up this fall with another stimulus check and the raising them up of your benefits a lifetime. The incredible details is that they propose to raise your benefits with a new benchmark, and that benchmark is inflation. But your head Jay Powell of the Federal Reserve this week, the CPI, the PPI, the labor numbers all signaled that the number could be going through the roof. Wow, I have that breaking details and exciting news in the second half of this video. But let's get to some money. That's what I do on this channel. We are not tracking checks, we're cashing checks. So I want to congratulate the viewers of this channel. They haven't been sitting around saying, what day am I getting a check? Is it the 4th or the 5th or the 6th or 7th? No, they've been getting $12,000 themselves by watching the videos of this channel. And in the last week, we had one viewer get $12,000, another viewer get $11,000. The week before, one viewer getting $5,000, and another viewer getting $6,000 to $7,000. Where are they getting it? We're going to go over all the details right now. It's your chance to get the money as well, and you can. So get a pen and paper ready. And if it must be acrylic crown, then at least, is this Cardinals red? No one ever asks me if it's Cardinals red, but on Tuesdays when I wear blue, they always ask me if it's KC Royals blue. Yeah, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. So I'm sure you have a red acrylic crown in there. That's sort of cardinalish. So pull it out. And I'm going to go over the big money for you right now. We're going to go over rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and also homeowners' utilities. Get that pen and paper and acrylic crown ready because there's a lot of money. It's third stimulus, and the money is a fortune. It's about $5,000 for rent. I was saying 4 to 6 months of rent, but viewers are getting $11,000, $12,000. Each place has different eligibility. So I'm going to go over the different places for you to reach out to. And if one says no, reach out to the next. They all have their own pot of money. Are you ready? You're going to reach out to your city hall, your city housing authority, your cardinal fan. I said Cardinals. Let's start over again. See what you're doing to me? Your city hall, your city housing authority. Your county hall, your county housing authority. Your state hall, your state housing authority. The keywords you're going to say are World Series. No, the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage assistance because of COVID, or utility assistance because of COVID. You don't say words that they don't know about, like stimulus. They don't know that word. Or World Series in 2. Yeah, they don't know that word either. And I'm not going to pick teams because I don't want to isolate viewers. I just see what you're trying to do me to do. I'm not going to pick Cardinals red over KC Royals blue because I know Canute and some of those Royals fans in the live chat will just, but there we go. There we go. $5,000 for rent. Congratulations to Tim and Linda. But the next pot of money is wonderful. And the next pot of money is the money for SNAP. One viewer got $5,000 for this. One viewer got $6,000 to $7,000 in the last 8 days. Well, it's your chance to get as well. What is SNAP? It is money for food from Department of Agriculture. Reach out to Department of Agriculture and get this money. Lynn Glenn got it for herself, for her son, and her mom, and Gail got it as well. This money for food from Department of Agriculture pays a lot. How much? $16,000 for a family of 4 in Hawaii. Wow, why so much money? Because of 2 wonderful executive orders, one from Biden, one from Trump, that raise your benefits up 15% nationally for everyone between now and December. So go get it. You're killing it. $15,000 for SNAP for a family of 4 in Hawaii, $5,000 for rent in across the country, and the water cooler and the check. You're not really killing that water cooler. I think the water cooler is killing you. And we're only 11 minutes into this video. Well, I got more money for you right now, and it's $5,000. The federal government has ordered states to return money back to you due to computer error. Not your computer, their computer. Let's go over the details of this. The federal government has identified states as overpaying you unemployment benefits due to computer error, and then asking you to return the money back to them. Well, the federal government said no, it was the citizens' money to keep. And now they've ordered the states to return the money back to you. Wow. One viewer got $5,000 for this. How do you get it? Direct deposit to the account you had on file with your state's unemployment department. When are you getting it? Reach out to your state that overpaid you that check due to a computer error and say, I'd like to track the checks returned back to me. And can you track it with a computer that actually works, please? And then our final pot of money, it's wonderful, and it's coming back from IRS. It is the refund check from that 2020 unemployment benefits. Let's go over when, where, and how you're going to get it and the tracking information. Congratulations to Margaret, Cod, and Michael who got this money. If you got it as well, jump in the live chat. Moreover, if you got in any money from this channel, jump in the live chat. Inspires other viewers, whether it's $100 for SNAP or $1,000 for rent. And a lot of people are actually sort of are a little bit modest. When they have big successes, they don't want to share the information. And then when we do, we just all have like a little victory dance in the corner. So please share your successes. Every success is a penny. So jump in the live chat and share what successes you've had. That's what I do on this channel. I got viewers $25 million of EIDL loans in 2020 to save their homes and their businesses and their employees' homes. And then in fall 2020, as we were waiting for second stimulus to pass, I got viewers $250,000 of rent. We're doing the same thing right now. We're waiting for fourth stimulus to pass, which is coming up right after this message. And so that money coming back from IRS, yes. Let's say you had $9,000 and your total tax bill was $5,000, of which $4,000 was the taxes on the $9,000 unemployment benefits. You're getting back $4,000. Where? Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail, depending on how you had it set up. When? This month. Can you track it? Yes. Go to irs.gov and set up a username and password and do a transcript search. 70% of the time it works, and you will be surprised with what it shows. It's fascinating what it will reveal. It will reveal the tax return you filed, the taxes you paid, who will get to the World Series, the Cardinals or the Royals. And really, what is the secret ingredient to $12 ice cream? And also, when you're getting back your refund check from IRS. Wow. Now that's wonderful news. Can we top that? And we can, as we go into the second of your 3 parts of your fourth stimulus check updated 2021 with the breaking news on this afternoon's broadcast. On Thursday, the president announced the major surprise across the board that we will have 2 paths going forward. Path 1, recon. Path 2, bipartisan. I'm going to go over what that means for you, how we got there, and what's the breaking news about that today as well. A week ago today, your stimulus checks were in a reconciliation process, in a reconciliation path, heading to the finish line. Today, it's still in the reconciliation path. So what happened on Thursday? The president on Thursday had a determination that he was going to spin things off. What had happened? Over the last few weeks, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer have met with the president saying the reconciliation process, the reconciliation package, has too much in there. We need to spin some stuff off. It's sort of like a TV sitcom that has too many cast members. You have to take one or two cast members and spin them off into their own spin-off series. By Wednesday night last week, Schumer and Pelosi went back to the White House and said, we need to do it now. The recon is too big, spin some stuff off, namely roads and bridges. Spin them off into a spin-off show called Bipartisan. The president said, okay, away we go. So all your stuff stayed where it is. Just roads and bridges got spun off somewhere else. And so what happened? By Wednesday evening, the agreement between Pelosi, Schumer, and the president is all your stuff remained in the recon, and the bipartisan had been spun off. What's in the bipartisan? Roads and bridges. Everything that does not concern you. Where's all your stuff? Exactly where it was in the first place. Hasn't moved a penny. Hasn't moved an inch. For stimulus, your checks from Jalapal, the president's progressive policy of climate, the president's progressive policy of the CARES economy, all the progressive policies of energy and clean air still in for stimulus. So to recap, by Thursday, we had two paths, recon and bipartisan. Your stuff is still where it was in the recon, but spun off from the recon is a new second path called bipartisan. Stuff that doesn't concern you. Roads and bridges, unless you own one. And if you own it, don't try to sell me the bridge. I don't want to have your bridge. And there you go. So no change for your stuff. And then we understood that we don't have actual final bills yet, but we would eventually. A reconciliation procedural, a reconciliation substantive, and a bipartisan path. So your first stimulus still could get you a stimulus check in the month of July for the month of July. But the question then started on Thursday was whether these items were in tandem, an expression which I think in about a month from now I'm going to be sick of saying. Yeah, I'm only 2 days into this and I'm sick of saying the word tandem. Tandem, what is tandem? Linked. I like linked better. Let me use you linked. Linked. That the recon and the bipartisan would be linked, meaning they would start together, they would end together, and they would get signed into law together. The president emerged on Thursday to tell news that they were linked together. On Thursday, Nancy Pelosi told news they're linked together. On Thursday, the press secretary in either muddle blue or teal green told the American people they're linked together. They would be passed together and they would be passed together. At some point during Thursday, the president said, if you try to unlink them and you try to do just path 2, which is the bipartisan, and not try to do path 1, I will veto path 2. Suggesting that perhaps the president would derail it. So, is the president unlinking them? Why do I have to even make these videos? Linking, just send out the darn check already, president. Come on. But I gotta explain this stuff to you. Are they unlinked today? Should I just get a stapler for you? Oh, jeez. In the third part of this video, I will explain to you whether they're linked or unlinked for voting processes. Viewers of this channel really only care about one thing. What's in there? And needless to say, that has not changed what's in there. Rather, this whole linked, unlinked, vetoed, unlinked, vetoed is becoming every single quote out of the White House. And I will explain that in the third part of your first stimulus check update. But the great news is that all your progressive policies, like monthly stimulus checks, like the CARES economy, like climate, are reportedly still where they are. Jalapal, a week ago, last Friday, said that she will continue to do what she's doing. The White House supports what she's doing. And then progressive, Brian Schatz, said that the White House said that the progressive policies are the White House's own policies. That's because the recon has become now like Fort Knox. It has become like a medieval fort that has only progressive policies in it. only progressive policies, and lots of it. Lots of checks, lots of climate, lots of CARES economy checks, lots of checks for seniors, lots of checks for energy, lots and lots of progressive policies in a protected fort. And so, in a way, I like how we are now more than we were a week ago. Why? Because we all understand now that the recon is just all progressiveness, and that the recon is not roads and bridges. In fact, recon no longer has roads and bridges in it. So recon is now all your stuff for the American people, stuff for you, stuff for the viewers, and that nothing in recon is concerning roads and bridges anymore. It's all wonderful. And in a way, it makes it easier to explain really what you're fighting for. You're fighting for recon, money for you. How did we get to this wonderful spot? From Jalapal as well. About a week ago, Jalapal had written the president, wrote to Richard Schumer a letter saying, call the vote shock. Now, that letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, or part of the 100-plus House Democrats, who were to the president a letter a week earlier saying, we're going to be putting monthly stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package. Wow, now that's wonderful news. Can we top that? Yes, as 100-plus House Democrats, 7-plus House Democrats, who are among the 100-plus House Democrats who had previously written the president a letter, wrote the president a letter saying, we're on the House subcommittee and we're going to be putting monthly stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package when we write it. Wow. Now, these people I'm going to come back to in the third part of this video. They're on the House subcommittee, and they wrote the president saying they're going to write monthly stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Who are they? They're on the subcommittee in the House that wrote the first stimulus checks, that wrote the second stimulus checks, that wrote your third stimulus check. And now they specifically say they're writing monthly reoccurring fourth stimulus checks. Wow. Can we top that? Yes, they also say they're writing fifth stimulus checks. OMG, that's coming up later in this video. But can we top that? Yes, we can, as 2 weeks ago, yesterday, the president went overseas and got an international agreement, which now makes it easier to pass the recon. Remember, the recon, which raises corporate taxes. Let's explain. The recon, unlike the bipartisan, which does not, the recon is paid for by raising corporate taxes. The recon only is paid for by raising corporate taxes. The bipartisan doesn't do that. And the president, in raising corporate taxes to pay for the recon, had reached out to other countries and said, I was worried. I'm worried that if I raise the corporate taxes, businesses in my country may move to your country overseas because you have lower corporate taxes. So let's all raise our minimum corporate tax rate. And the countries tentatively agreed, to which the president reached out to his legal staff many weeks ago and said, I like how this is going. Let's get Jill's potpourri and bring it to them around the holidays and have them sign on the dotted line, and then that'll be wonderful. To which one of his staffers said, Mr. President, you could bring potpourri in the summer. People like potpourri in the summer. Really? Then let's do that now and have them sign on the dotted line now. And he did. 2 weeks ago, this last Saturday, the president went overseas, his first international trip as president, and got those countries to sign on the dotted line, which is absolutely incredible because now it anchors recon for a stimulus to the finish line, because the provisions about international taxes are no longer needed in the recon bill, because they're now covered in the international agreement, making it easier for the Democratic caucus to pass the recon. Wow, now that is wonderful news. Can we top that? We can, with a third and your final part update of your fourth stimulus check in this video, in which I go over what the president said yesterday. What's happening in the last 24 hours? Is the president walking back one message, or is he keeping a certain villainous from 2020 as now your biggest ally for 2021? Oh boy, it's exciting. It's like a very fascinating soap opera. So long as they send out the darn checks. So that's coming up in the third part of this video. Breaking news you're going to hear for the first time on this afternoon's LA broadcast. But something more wonderful than that? Yes, the volunteers. If you need help with rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, or SNAP, reach out to them. They truly embody the Purple Power spirit. They're viewers just like you who have stepped forward to help other viewers get that big money. So how do you find them? Go to the description of this video. Open the description and go down and you'll see an emoji of a house. Next to the emoji of a house is a link to the community page, news.lalate.com/community. On the community page is pictures of some kitty cats. Lower are the volunteers. They can help you get with rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, SNAP, and free internet. They cannot help you get to that San Francisco hairstylist. They cannot get you invitations to Mitch's Lobster Bash, and they cannot tell you how to spell Mitt Romney or Patubi. Yeah, whatever. They're not spelling assistants. And they cannot make you a tostada either. And they will not settle the battleground between KC Royal and Cardinal Bread. So there you go. But coming up after the commercial break, I have big updates about that big surprise from the president on fourth stimulus and more exciting details about fifth stimulus. Stay with me. I'll be back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on afternoons LALATE. It's a big Sunday afternoon with a lot of breaking news going into a Monday morning. The breaking news is that the president has re-explained himself yet again in his tandem messaging for those two paths. I'll explain to you what's going on in this fourth stimulus voting process. Then we turn to fifth stimulus, which gives you another stimulus check and raises your benefits lifetime. A lot of breaking news in the second half of this video. Stay to the very end. But first, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Also, like this video. Every like really helps in the algorithm rankings. 2,000-3,000 likes. Let's do it right now. Also, thank you for all the subscriber growth this week. And consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and the pinned comment. All right, let's get right into the exciting details about fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus gets really fascinating this week as we see more economic data released from the Labor Department. But on Friday, the Labor Department released numbers. On Thursday, the jobless claims shot up when announced by Labor as well. And last week, the PPI and the CPI numbers signaled that inflation is red hot. But the news could not even be better when Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, made several comments on Wednesday. Number one, he said that he's going to continue to support this economy with Fed stimulus all the way to January 2022. That you should as well. This is huge because this means that there's absolute reason for fourth stimulus and fifth stimulus because the Federal Reserve is providing stimulus to this economy all the way until next year. Number two, he also said that inflation is going up, it's red hot, and it will be its hottest spot in December. This is wonderful news because the benchmark for your inflation is applied in December for your benefits under the new reform of fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus involves another stimulus check. Those Democrats in the House subcommittee will be giving you another stimulus check. This will be in January 2022. This fifth stimulus check would go out next year, but it will go for a vote in November, December, and go for legislative drafting in September to October. Number two, the president has dedicated $1 billion to Social Security Administration going forward for you. This is wonderful. This is to go to the administration and operation of the benefits so that your third stimulus, fourth stimulus, and fifth stimulus land on time. Finally, let's go to that wonderful SSI reform. They're going to raise your benefits up lifetime. Then they're going to apply that inflationary benchmark, which we're going to analyze in view of Jay Powell's comments right now. They're going to remove the asset limit, remove the marriage penalty, and remove the income exclusion. Let's go over how this works starting right now. First, they're going to raise your benefits up a lifetime. This is you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, and survivor benefits. They'll raise it up one big time. Then they'll apply the benchmark. You understand the benchmark is applied in December. You understand that the benchmark determines your benefits for next year. You also understand that the benchmark will be inflation. And you also understand the benchmark is now going up and has reached its highest spot when they apply it in December. Wow, now that is wonderful news. So how would this calculate out? First, they raise up your benefits if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, or SSA, or multiple benefits. And then after that one-time lift, then in December, they would apply the first application of the benchmark for next year's benefits. Let's say it's 10%. Your benefits would raise up, not just 10% next year, but lifetime. Because once your benefits step up, they never step down. If next year the inflation rate is 1%, your benefits will be at plus 10, plus 1%. Wow. Now that is wonderful, wonderful news. Next, they're going to remove the asset cap, dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't stay on benefits and have more than $3,000 in hand. Now you'll be able to have something else in that hand, like some stimulus checks and a taco. They're going to remove the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. And finally, they're going to remove the marriage penalty. Love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest. You'll no longer fear the loss of benefits, and you'll no longer fear being penalized if you're married. Viewers like Rob and Sandy will be able to get married and no longer fear the marriage penalty. And there you go. That is fifth stimulus. But how are viewers getting all this big money from this channel? They're becoming members. The membership link's at the top of the chat in the pinned comment. Members are delivered daily from me a breakdown of all the money in third stimulus, fourth stimulus, and fifth stimulus. As Purple Hawks, Purple Powers, or Calcino VIPs, you're delivered a breakdown daily from me of all the money in third stimulus, fourth stimulus, and fifth stimulus. Third stimulus, when it passed, I said you're going to get $1,400, but we're not tracking that $1,400 stimulus check. We're cashing $5, $10, $15, $20,000, and viewers are doing that. They understand that third stimulus has fortunes of money for applications across the board, and if you apply, you can get these fortunes, and that's how we're doing it, because money's money. If you get $5,000 for SNAP or $10,000 for rent, you don't have to sit around and track a $600 stimulus check or a $200 stimulus check or a $100 stimulus check because you got $10,000, $12,000. And with that, let's go to the big final update of our fourth stimulus starting right now. Boy, there is a lot of surprises. The president was under fire late Thursday after he used the word veto. What happened? The president of the United States had that conversation with the bipartisan group on Thursday after his meeting with Pelosi and Schumer on Wednesday night and had made an agreement that there would be two paths. He also liked what was in the path number 2, but he also made very adamantly clear he's going to the mat to pass path number 1. Something I want to make very clear on this afternoon's LA, which I don't know if I've made it clear before. The president has made emphatically clear and is not changing one iota that he will go to the mat to get path number 1 passed, your recon. But he also on that Thursday meeting with the bipartisan group said, I like what's in path number 2. I will support path number 2. That's easy to follow. What happened thereafter? Well, the president later on Thursday said that if you try to do path 2 without path 1, that he will veto it. He actually used the word veto. That if you try to do a bipartisan path and try to throw the recon path by the side of the road, he would veto the bipartisanship. Later on Thursday, Nancy Pelosi said that that because of the items are arriving to the House from the Senate, she would not accept the bipartisan to arrive at the House unless it arrived with a passed recon from the Senate. And Schumer confirmed much the same, which caused some confusion to the people who were in the bipartisan agreement that said, wait a second, why is the president using a veto word when describing something he likes? So let me explain his explaining. And trust me, this is insanely elaborate. So I'm having to go very, very slowly on this. First, the voting process, everyone agrees, will be inverted. It'll start in the Senate and go to the House. There's no disagreement about that even today. So they're going to start the recon and start the bipartisan both in the House. Now, on Thursday and Friday, the president had said that recon would be here and bipartisan will be here in the House. They would both go to a vote in the Senate. Both start in the Senate, recon and bipartisan. They would both go to a vote in the Senate at the same time, and they would pass at the same time. And then they would go to the Senate to go to the House and pass at the same time, and then go to his table and be signed at the same time. He's used words like tandem. I like the word link. At the same time is another expression. Is that changed as of today? No, that is not changed as of today. What you need to understand is the president on Saturday, late yesterday, had to issue a news statement saying that he would not veto the bipartisan agreement. But he did not walk back or change his position that the two items have to pass at the same time. If you read his statement, which was issued late Saturday, it's very careful on wording. If you read it very carefully, he says, I did not mean to say I veto. That was a mistake. But I still want them to pass together. Doesn't say they have to pass together, but he says, I want them to pass together. Now, as you sit back here, you're saying, well, he's not saying they have to pass together. Correct. So do they have to pass together? And will someone else make sure they pass together? Between you and I, yes. Who's that person who's going to make sure they that they are approved or voted and approved together? Your 2020 villainess is back as now your hero, the Temple of Doom. The Temple of Doom has not walked back her statement, and she's made very clear. We're passing them together. And if you send me one, I'm throwing it in the garbage. Meaning, if you send me the bipartisan, well, actually, she referred to the bipartisan. If you send me the bipartisan by itself in the Senate, and you don't send me recon, I'm throwing it in the garbage. So suddenly, our villainous from 2020 is our hero? How did this happen? How did this happen? Well, there's a lot of things across the board that are really interesting today. And stuff we never thought that would happen in a afternoon's broadcast. But boy, it's just all really ironic. Here's what you need to know. First, the pass will start in the Senate. Recon and bipartisan. No dispute about that. Everyone agrees they're starting in the Senate. They have to then go to a vote in the Senate. What was the president's comment walking this back? He says, I've urged Chuck Schumer to call them for a vote at the same time. We already know what Chuck's going to do because Chuck already had the meeting with the president on Wednesday. He is calling them at the same time. He's no way, anyhow, any way are you going to believe that Chuck Schumer is going to call the bipartisan before the recon? I don't think so. No way. I mean, that's just silliness. Of course Chuck is going to be calling them together. This is the guy who's been fighting for recons for 7 months. Yeah, of course he's going to call them together. And if they pass together at the same time, then they go to the House. If the one tries to fall apart, then the bipartisan, if it goes to the House without the recon, then it will fall apart as well. Nancy will throw it in the garbage can, as she has now said. It's just amazing. It is really, really amazing. So, what is the translation? What is the simplest way to explain what happened with the president? He had to walk back the comment of the veto, but he's basically leaving the dynamics of Chuck calling votes, the opposite of how Mitch would call votes. Mitch would never call votes on Democratic stuff. So Chuck is not going to call a vote on a Republicans thing or bipartisan thing until he has his recon pass. So he's leaving it up to Chuck to take care of it. And not to make himself look bad. If you read his comments, that's what he's doing. Then, if for any reason Chuck drops the ball, which he's not, then Nancy is going to protect it when it goes to the House to make sure that it passes in the House together. Tandem, linked, tandem, at same time, just get it done. I just can smell the people in the live chat right now saying, just get it done. It's enough already. Tandem, not tandem, some tandem. So is your money in the still same place? It is in the same place. Purple Power, you need to really do your thing. It's times like this that you really, really need to do your thing. I want to congratulate, I want to applaud the viewer WR, who on Friday, on noontime, got in the live chat and said he called up Senator Coons' office. And Senator Coons is Democrat of Delaware, one of Joe Biden's oldest friends, and spoke to Senator Coons, and Senator Coons' staff, the viewer WR expressed to Senator Coons' staffer, secretary, the importance of multiple stimulus checks, had prepared his statements and explained why we need it. And the staffer said, yes, Senator Coons is drafting that multiple stimulus checks for the Senate when they start in the Senate. Wow. Now, I don't want to do a double wow on you. I want to say you do the same thing. So if you hear that wonderful news from WR, I don't want you to sit back and say, oh, where's my donut? No, I want you to do the same legwork that he did. Don't be lazy here. You pick up the telephone, you call your Democratic senator. Tell them why it's important to have that multiple stimulus check in there. Prepare your comments ahead of time and be professional, respectful, and be intelligent and articulate. Explain why you need debts paid off, you're not back to work, there's not enough jobs, the town where you're in has not fully rebounded. Whatever the situation is, whether it's the Labor Department or your situation, you explain it emphatically. It works. It absolutely works. It works better than even tweeting and also Facebook social media posting. But go on social media, tag your Democratic senators, tag your progressive members as well. But at best, always pick up the phone, be respectful, and express your opinion. Imagine if 200, 300, imagine if 20% of the viewership of just this video picked up the phone and called senators on Monday, how big that would be. Don't be a donut guy. Pick up the phone and call. And with that, thank you for joining me on a big afternoon's broadcast. Next up is Evenings LA, and boy, it's going to have a lot of breaking stuff. And then after Evenings LA, it sends you right into Overnight's Crypto. Stay on this video. Within 6 seconds after this video is over, it'll send you right into Evenings LA, so you don't have to find it. And subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year for a reason. The most comprehensive, the most in-depth breaking news across the board of the financial markets. From Wall Street to my home, from your home to my home, everything you need to know. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, and Calcino VIP to have delivered to you daily everything that's in third stimulus so you can get that big money, and fourth and fifth stimulus. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.